you becoming CEO of this company?
Well, it's super exciting because it's not just about the satellite component of it, but they also have a terrestrial allocation of spectrum that's associated with the satellite as well. And at XCOM, we built technology that makes spectrum actually work harder. So this is a group of people that I've worked with for over 30 years at Qualcomm. We were building all the different generations of wireless technology. We came up with a new idea that gives you 5 to 10x improvement in what you can get through a chunk of spectrum. So now we see, okay, Globalstar's got not just the satellite part, which is super interesting, but we can take this chunk of spectrum and we can use it for private networks. So we have customers that are interested in things like warehouse automation or training, or various applications where there's something that an enterprise wants to do with that, and we can provide a mission critical capability for them, meaning that they can't have their communications go down. So there's spectrum out there that the government's made available for these private networks, but this spectrum doesn't get taken away, whereas the other can.
So this is particularly very important because capital is expensive right now, and launching satellites is very expensive right now. If using XCOM technology, Globalstar is able to get more out of the infrastructure it already has, that's potentially big. So how soon might that be able to happen?
Well, we're actually in with customers right now. So the technology I was talking about from XCOM is for the terrestrial side, because people have talked about Globalstar in terms of what's the satellite business worth, what's the terrestrial, the spectrum worth, and it's kind of gone back and forth over time, right? Now people have been very focused on the satellite side because of the relationships that they have and the wholesale partner that they're working with. But now what we want to say is, hey, there's value in that terrestrial network. There's enterprise opportunities people are interested in, and we have technology that can actually make that work harder.
Technology is important here, but so is capital, and Globalstar has struggled in the past to really make money off of its spectrum position. Getting satellites and launching them is expensive. What changes, if anything, with the capital position and the debt under your leadership?
So what's really interesting is this is a tough business. You launch satellites, you got to make sure that you're going to get the return off of them. What they were able to do with the wholesale partner is actually get that constellation paid for. So those old satellites were up there. In fact, they were using some of the old equipment from the early Qualcomm days. And now they've been able to upgrade, and we're looking forward to continuing to provide better and better service as time goes on.
You keep referring to the wholesale partner, Apple, which is a major moment, a major milestone for Globalstar to be working with Apple, because this has been the market everybody's talked about, but hadn't really been fully realized or tapped into, this direct satellite to mobile connection. How big I guess how far does that partnership with that wholesale partner go? And even beyond that, how big is this market potentially?
Look, the market can be big because it's not just to devices, it's also to Internet of Things. And so, everybody talks about how many devices there can be in the Internet of Things, and that's an area that we've been very focused on as a company, and we will be even more focused on going forward. I think, the opportunity with Globalstar's partners, we're here because we've done good partnerships in the past, and we think there's opportunity to do good partnerships in the future, and this is a group of people that have built great technology before, and we want to keep doing that.
Speaking of partners, Elon Musk would like to be able to do some of what Globalstar is doing over at SpaceX. And I know SpaceX has been a partner in one sense, helping you get satellites in the air, but they're also trying to get into your spectrum position. Any possibilities of working better with him and with SpaceX?
Yeah, I mean, what Elon's done is pretty amazing in space, and so I think certainly from a launch capacity standpoint, that's always interesting. And but I think the fact that Globalstar has its spectrum, the licensed spectrum, is important, and it's global. Whereas if you're trying to cobble together spectrum that's not global, and you have to go country by country, especially for these things like IoT, it's very hard if you have to do it every single country. If you can come in and you say you have spectrum everywhere, you have connectivity everywhere, that's just a huge advantage. So I think that's a big thing that Globalstar has going for it.
What do you make of the competitive landscape overall? I mean, you have Dish re-merging with EchoStar, which kind of speaks to this landscape as well. You do have Starlink at SpaceX, including their partnership with T-Mobile. You have AST Space Mobile that's working with AT&T right now. Qualcomm is actually working with Iridium. Is there room for everyone, and how does Globalstar fit into that longer term?
Well, I mean, it's exciting already because Globalstar's been out there for a while. They've shown that they know how to run the system and make it work well. And these things are not easy. Having been through a number of these things, I was also involved with OneWeb as well. So I think, there's a lot of excitement right now, as in any industry, and we'll see who is actually able to make it through. But Globalstar's already there, and they already have a great partnership on this, and they're already delivering services that are saving people's lives. So this is, I think we're in a very strong position.
Are you going to need more capital, and do you have a path to get it if so?
Yeah, I mean, the way that the relationship works is that the partner is actually there to pick up a lot of the expense in terms of launching. And of course, we understand satellite networks are expensive. But if you want to deliver that service, which is clearly a valuable service, then people are going to put up the money to make it happen.
I know 85% of capacity is committed to that partner, and the partner's got a few dollars on the side, from what I hear, what gets reported. Paul Jacobs, thank you, CEO of Globalstar.